That middle one is done though, right?
The middle one? I have
Oh
to.
yeah, you gotta do the bottom.
I gotta do the bottom part.
This is Will Condry, and today he is in Trenton, New Jersey, painting a 50-foot mural at a small local park. Casso is one of the founding members of the Sage Coalition, and he joined with 3 other graffiti artists and Isles, a local redevelopment nonprofit, to create this piece.
We've been putting this project together. I say we started about a year ago having a conversation about it. So this is the first of 4 murals that will be up around the Old City area, the Old Trade neighborhood area. I say over the next month or so we should be done all of them. Because basically what we're doing is we're doing one this week and then plan for a week and then start it the following. So we should be done all these projects by the end of next month. That's the timeline. And there was a mural up here originally, but it was falling apart. It's like 10 years old. So we're basically just, giving it a facelift, redoing it, changing the concept, still incorporating children, having a youth basis. I mean, we're in a playground, so, some of the kids from the neighborhood is going to be pictured on the wall. And at the same time, we all have our spaces where we kind of go crazy a little bit. It's going to be heavily abstract art and then some figurative stuff.
Casso was originally inspired by the building's unique chimney.
When I first saw it, I was like, wow, kind of like a peace sign, So that was like the first image that came to mind, and we just based it around that. So, we had to sit down, we talked about it, everybody talked about what they wanted to incorporate. So I came up with a very loose outline that it's going to be a tree coming up from the base, going into the pillars. Then all the pillars are going to be done with abstract art. Then you have the yellow area is going to be a sun, which Link is going to fill in with his stencil design. Love is up there now doing the outside of it. So that's going to be the same as on the right as it is going to be on the left. And then the base is going to be portrait. Andre Tenier from the Bronx, he's coming down now, but he painted this portrait. And we're all going to have them overlap and everything. They're not just going to be, one here, one there. Everything's going to kind of overlap.
4 different artists collaborate together, combining their distinct styles.
I work with stencils mostly, and depending on what the project is, that sort of dictates what exactly it is that I'm making. So for this one, since a lot of it is abstract, I'll just be doing like some pattern and using patterns to build up different colors and values in there. So sometimes I'll do portraits, sometimes I'll do objects. It all depends on what the project is.
The artists worked throughout the weekend to produce this piece.
We budgeted for about 100 cans of paint. We're probably going to use a little more than half that for this wall. So I say about 50 cans easy that this wall's going to take, and the other half of the paint, give or take a few here and there, but it depends. We may even use the full 100, but it's going to take a lot of paint. It's going to take a lot of paint. The paint is probably, aside from the lift rental, was the biggest part of the budget for this wall. I mean, the wall's like about 40 feet from at the tip. So it's a pretty ambitious project. I think it's the largest we've collectively worked on. We've all have our individual projects that range at this scale, but collectively this is the biggest project we worked on.
Casso and the other artists hope their mural will help to inspire future generations in this neighborhood.
Artwork is really helpful in how people feel about the places where they live. So yeah, I think anytime you can add art to someplace where maybe it won't always be, I think that's a good thing. And then, there's a playground here as well, so I think it's nice to have, cool, bright things for kids to look at while they're playing.
People come out, they spectate, we get to meet people, we're based right around the corner, so most of the people from what I've seen who are over here they've seen what has gone on Hanover Street, but they never met us. They're like, oh, are you the guys from around the corner? Like, yeah, so bridging 2 communities, And hopefully, once we start programming everything, some of these kids that's in this neighborhood can be in part of our programs. So it's a good way to just, to keep the outreach going. And that's a big part of what we do is community outreach. And murals, public art in general, is the best way to do that, in my opinion.